Hello, Middle 3. I hope you're fine. Today we're gonna start Unit 4 with the main topic: how can we save our future life by saving our environment? If I ask you, which is better to save our environment? Using a conventional, traditional source of energy like the coal, or non-conventional source of energy like the solar power? What do you think? Of course, the solar power, because of being clean, sustainable, and renewable. What does it mean by sustainable? Clean, of course, we know it clean, which means not dirty source of energy. But what's meant by sustainable? Sustainable, which means it's an energy source that doesn't harm the environment, not harmful for the environment. Renewable means that always exists, that can be replaced naturally. Of course, in science we have two kinds of energy sources: conventional sources of energy and non conventional. And if I ask you, of course, again, which is better for our environment, of course, non conventional sources of energy like solar power, wind power, okay, and we can replace that word by other terms like alternative sources of energy. We can say sustainable source of energy, and we can say renewable. Okay, so again, alternative sources of energy, which means non-conventional, not traditional. Okay, sustainable, which means not harmful for our environment. And again, renewable, which means sources that exist forever or always exist, okay, and can be replaced naturally. Okay, now let's move to our new vocabulary. But before this, I need you to open page 30 in the student book, please. Okay, to read the new vocabulary together. Okay, and after that we can study them together with examples. Okay, yes, we're gonna read the highlighted words in it on page 30. Okay, let's read. Uninhabitable, prompted, sustainable, harshest, measure, residence, renewable, shaded, desalination, irrigation, conventional, specialize, enrollments, skeptical, alternative. Okay, now let's start to study them carefully. The first word is conventional. Again, conventional. Like we said, conventional, which means traditional and normal. For example, conventional sources of energy are not clean for our environment. Conventional. Renewable, and we said it, okay, renewable, that can be replaced naturally and will always exist. Okay, for example, wind power is a form of renewable energy, okay, that can save our environment. Renewable. Sustainable, again we said it, sustainable, using natural products and energy that don't harm the environment. For example, cycling is a sustainable form of transport. Sustainable. Alternative, okay, alternative as an adjective means unconventional, which means different from what's usual or traditional. For example, we have to look for alternative sources of energy which are produced by the sun or the wind rather than by gas. But how about if alternative is used as a noun, okay, which means a choice. A choice. For example, you have two alternatives to choose from. So the word alternative can be used as an adjective, which means unconventional, and can be used as a noun, which means choice. Alternative. Uninhabitable, 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 which means not possible for humans to live in. For example, much of the country is uninhabitable because of desert. Uninhabitable. Skeptical. I like that word, by the way. Skeptical. Skeptical, be careful, can be written like this. Can be written with C and can be written with K. Skeptical. What's the meaning of skeptical? Skeptical, which means doubting that something is right. For example, I'm extremely skeptical about what he said. I feel that he is a liar. Skeptical, which means you are doubting. You are doubting that something is right. Harsh, 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 which means unpleasant and difficult to live in. Look at or listen to. For example, his essay met with harsh criticism from colleagues. They didn't like it at all. Okay? Or when you deal with someone in a harsh way, which means cruel way. Okay? Cruel, being cruel. Okay? Harsh, okay? We can say it cruel. Irrigation, of course you know it. Irrigation, the act of supplying water to grow plants and crops using pipe and small canals. Irrigation, for example, there should be much water for the irrigation of fields. Irrigation. Desalination, again, desalination. Desalination, the process of removing salt from seawater. For example, the desalination of the seawater will help us find better ways of using the limited resources. Desalination, which means turning the salt water to fresh water, like you see in the picture in front of you. Okay, desalination. Desalination. Enrollment, the act of becoming a member of a school, university, or a course. For example, the increase in the number of the enrollments and on Dream-linked school is a measure of its success. Enrollments, okay? The act of becoming a member of a school, university, or a course. Enrollment. Resident, a person who lives or stays in a place. For example, the police have arrested the residents for protesting about the new policy. Residents. Resident, the people who live or stay in a place. Resident. Measure. Measure, of course, we know it as a verb. Okay, we use it in math, okay? But measure also can be used as a noun, okay, which means a way of describing the size, amount, or development of something or someone. For example, exam results are not a true measure of a student's abilities. Okay, so measure can be used as a verb and as a noun. Measure. So the success can be measured, okay? Shade, to protect something or someone from the direct light of the sun. For example, she's looking for a tree to shade her baby from the direct sun. Okay, and also shade can be used as a noun. Okay, for example, she was sitting in the shade of a large tree. So again, shade can be used as a verb and as a noun. Prompt, Prompt to make somebody decide to do something. For example, what prompted you, okay, to buy that suit? Okay, prompt, okay, which means to make someone decide to do something. How to decide to do something. Okay, prompt. Prompt. Specialize. Specialize come from the word special, okay, from the adjective special. To give most of your attention to one subject, to focus on one subject. For example, my history professor specialized in Russian history. Again, specialize, which means focus. Okay, focus. Okay, and now it's time for reading. Okay, open page 30 and 31. Okay, start to read the passage, okay, understand it, and try to answer the questions here and then check the answers. But please pause the video, okay? And now let's check the answers. Okay, and now on page 32, okay, you have exercise on the vocabulary. Again, just 5 minutes. Try to answer it alone, please, alone. Okay, and then check the answers to check your understanding of the words. Okay, according to your homework in the student's book, page 31, the vocabulary part, and in workbook, page 29, exercise 1, okay, and in the booklet, page 2. Thank you so much for your attention, dear.